Welcome to week 8 of Shelftober, what has turned into a 2-month series with Shelftember, where I am taking a few shelves each week and decluttering, dusting, and displaying them, because somewhere along the line I realized I had an awful lot of shelves and they are awfully dusty. We finished up the front hallway and entryway areas last week, and so I am ducking back into my room and doing my closet this week. I was hoping to get to the plant stand as well, and it just did not happen. I mentioned at one point that hopefully I would get more shelves done some weeks, and that would leave more time for harder shelves. These are falling into the harder shelf category. Yeah, not for any particular reason. There's just some sentimental stuff, and I somehow managed to start working on non-shelf areas. Anyway, I was thinking through what I wanted to talk about today as I worked, and one time I walked back into my closet and the image of what it used to look like came into my head. And I showed you my shelves in my closet. At one point, those shelves were full of clothes. It didn't have all this other stuff. I had clothes hung all the way across the bars, and I had shelves at the end, and that was full of stuff. This was well into my decluttering journey. I want to say somewhere in there the turning point was a Francine J book. I don't remember why. I have gone through a process in terms of decluttering clothing, which of course has reclaimed space in this closet. But yeah, I mean, at one point in time, I had clothes upon clothes upon clothes. And yeah, okay, there was like one stack, maybe 2 of kids' clothes in here, but it was a majority my own clothes. So just to walk you through just a smidge of some of the changes, when I started, I pulled out just the clothes that didn't fit. And then the next time I pulled out, I don't know what I was reading, but the suggestion was to pick 1 neutral and 3 accent colors and then pull everything else out. I didn't get quite to that point, but the big thing there that really helped was picking 1 neutral. At the time it was black. I'm somewhere in the winter to autumn range in color families. I tend towards the cool side, but like I can wear the jewel tones in the autumn side. And back then I looked great in black. Now it seems a little harsh, so I've backed off to navy. In the meantime, I've run the gamut, so like that wasn't a big switch when I made it. Anyway, it was more a don't replace it with black type of situation. Anyway, the first round, I just pulled out clothes that didn't fit. The second round, I pulled out the neutrals that didn't work with black. So like, I got rid of all the navy shoes and purses and stuff like that. I got rid of the chocolate stuff. I don't think I had shoes in dark brown. I think I may have had purses and belts and stuff. I did keep all my leather belts. You'll probably not see those in this. The leather belts I have were actually belts that my parents made when they had their leather shop. So yeah, those aren't going anywhere. At this point, they don't even fit, but kids have kidnapped them at various times. So anyway, I did the 1 neutral and 3 accent colors, and I never really totally got down to that, just because like, well, I'm plus size and I'm tall, and to some degree you do keep things you like even if they don't fit whatever scheme or plan, because you know they work for you. Anyway, it's a thing. Then I tried doing the Project 333 thing for probably a good year and a half in there somewhere. And I didn't get it down to 33 items. And I don't really have anywhere to put excess clothes. So the non-chosen pieces still stayed in my closet and they just got shoved to the back. But that got me down overall, I think, when I did KonMari the first time. Like, I only did KonMari a little bit. But anyway, I had gotten it down so that I think there was about 70 pieces. And then I did KonMari. That got me down to 33. And then I think I added a few in there sometime. And I just kind of generally balanced out at about 40 until I wound up in a uniform job. When I was working a uniform job, I got down to basically enough clothes to wear on my 2 days off. At the beginning of the pandemic, I had to buy clothes because we don't have AC, and my uniform was long black pants that were not 100% cotton, and white t-shirts, which I don't like because they show stains and are impossible to keep clean with hard water. So yeah, I had 2 outfits of clothing at the beginning of the pandemic. Maybe a few more if you count stuff like the shirt I'm wearing now that I would not have been wearing in the middle of summer. It just wasn't a thing. Anyway, and so I've been kind of building back up, playing with ideas, different thought processes in relation to my wardrobe and stuff. But I just thought it might be interesting to kind of give you guys a different viewpoint. Because, like, you guys look at my closet now, and other than that one shelf that has very little on it, there's stuff in here. I didn't really show them to you. I do have clothes. You can kind of see part of my coat sleeve hanging there. A lot of my clothes are in the laundry at the moment. I still have a very small wardrobe. Right now, my goal is to get to approximately 18 pieces that mix and match, and the goal is sort of comfortable elegance. Like, I want to feel put together. One of the best compliments I think I've probably ever received was, I don't remember who it was. It was somebody at one of the schools. They made the comment that I always looked so put together. And I always felt like my life was just sheer chaos back then. I was working multiple jobs. I was trying to volunteer at the schools. I was doing stuff with the kids, and they made that statement. And in reality, all I was doing was wearing my work clothes everywhere. And I worked in an office, so it was business casual. So I just made sure that, like, the pants that I wore to work were comfortable, because I needed them to be able to work with me through the day, whether I was volunteering in a kindergarten classroom or, going down and cleaning at grandma's after work or whatever. I needed them to just keep right on going with me. So yeah, comfortable, necessity. But then because they were business casual, they were just a bit elevated from a standard t-shirt, which, come to think of it, I had a conversation with the youngest the other day. She got a compliment on one of my old t-shirts. It says, "Smile, it confuses people." Another one of those things from the 90s. And I realized one of my biggest fights with my kids has always been t-shirts. They like attitude t-shirts. They get that from their dad. And he supports that addiction. I don't like them because I don't want to feel like I'm getting a negative attitude, or I don't want their t-shirts to set the mood that they give off to people. And if someone is reading their t-shirt and it's saying, I'm late because I didn't want to be here, that's not really the vibe. it's not the vibe I want to see, and it's not the vibe I want them giving to other people. And it's one of those things that I hadn't really thought about, but it's like, smile, it confuses people is sort of the attitude of the 90s. Like, we will do things just to be contrary, but it's a more positive contrary than sometimes I think we slip into today. So, do you guys have anything that you kind of do to reset anything from like what you're doing with clothes or what you're doing mindset wise to kind of pull you back into a positive attitude? Like, help me out here. Give me some ideas, because I don't know. I want that comfortable, pulled together look for my clothes, and I don't want to feel frumpy and huge like I have been recently. And I don't want to feel like I'm late because I don't want to be here. I don't know. I think this shelf project has really, in some ways, has reset my attitude. Like, I just felt so overwhelmed by so many things. And like, I was looking at it in terms of bookshelves or, stuff. And it's still bookshelves. It's still stuff. But then when I look at it one shelf at a time, one item at a time, it's easier to deal with one item than everything on that shelf at once. You know what I mean? It's like I can look at one thing and make one decision. I can dust one little spot instead of it's going to take me so long to move everything on this shelf or everything on this bookcase and go through it. Like, it's just one little thing at a time. And over the course of, almost 2 months, like, it has kind of refreshed the energy in my house. Things are looking better. Things are just not quite so frumpy as they were, covered in dust and just sat down wherever they fit on the shelf because they've been just displayed a little bit. So, and yeah, sometime I'll have to figure out what to do with all of this sentimental type stuff. I'm noticing I might have a family historian problem on my hands, and I'm not sure what to do with that because I'm not really into the genealogy stuff, but then the people that are also decluttering and downsizing. So remember, a little bit at a time really adds up over a lifetime.